Welcome back to Little Steps Live. My name is Natasha, and today we'll be talking to Hong Kong Academy about their home school learning tips. And just a few friendly reminders before we begin. We do go live every 2 weeks, so if you are interested in our events, please go to our Facebook page, go to our events section, and there you can link on to the events that you're interested in, and a reminder will be sent to your phone. Second of all, we do have a wonderful newsletter full of jam-packed information. It's sent across to Hong Kong, Singapore, Jakarta, and KL. So if you would like to subscribe, then please go to the link in our description page. And then lastly, we are live. So if you've got any questions for us or for Hong Kong Academy, then please do send them our way. Send us some likes or any comments. We're happy to have those over. So let's begin. So we've just completed in Hong Kong 10 long weeks of homeschool learning. So a huge congratulations to all the parents and the children out there. We've done it, and now we're on a really well-deserved Easter break. And today, Hong Kong Academy are going to give us an insight on how they are doing their homeschool learning and how they're helping their children. So Little Steps is very happy to introduce Virginia. Welcome, Virginia.
Thank you.
Virginia Hunt. She is the primary school principal at Hong Kong Academy, and she actually holds a master's degree in early childhood and elementary education and an advanced master's in educational leadership. She's currently in the process of becoming an adaptive schools trainer as well. So Virginia lives in Sai Kung with both her children who attended Hong Kong Academy. And what they liked most about the school was the ability to learn an extra language and the range of sports on offer. And just to let you know that Hong Kong Academy is located in Sai Kung. It is a non-profit IB world school, providing a highly personalised and holistic education for students aged between 3 to 18 years old. So welcome again. Let's start off with just a little bit. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm a native New Yorker who's been in education for over 20 years. And I came to education as a second career. And I was really most interested in social change, ensuring that everyone had opportunities and recognizing that all children have gifts and that the role of the educator is to bring those unique gifts to their full potential for students. I also am very committed to the International Baccalaureate, the construction of knowledge, and I'm also an International Baccalaureate trainer as well, which has really supported me in working not only with parents, students, and teachers.
Okay, great. So how long have you been at Hong Kong Academy then?
This is my 13th year at Hong Kong Academy. I originally had a 3-year contract, and I very quickly fell in love with the mission, vision, and values of the school, not just for myself as an educator, but also for my own children, and really the opportunity to have them exposed and embrace the power and beauty of inclusion. Both my children came through the school, as you'd mentioned. My daughter's currently a junior in college. My son is a junior here. And I think, being on the 3 different campuses and seeing so many children come through our doors, I am proudest of this time. I'm so proud how we've come together as a community, of our students, of our parents, of our teachers, of our leadership. I can't even begin to express my gratitude to our admissions, our institutional advancement, operations keeping us safe, finance making it work for everyone. Our tech team has been phenomenal. They've been creative and innovative and so supportive. The faculty have gone above and beyond with their professionalism and their commitment. And especially our leadership. Our leadership is so collaborative. And we are so fortunate to have our head of school, Stephen Deere, leading us and really showing his vision and his commitment to the school and our identity and who we are.
Great, excellent. That's really, really good to hear. Thank you for sharing that. Today we're going to be splitting up our chat today in 4 sections. So we're going to understand HKA's online program and how it's actually set up. Then we'll look at how HKA alters the curriculum to meet their students' needs, because not everybody is the same, of course. And then challenges and opportunities of online learning. And then we'll finish with staying sane, which will be one of my favorite topics. So to begin with, when we look at Hong Kong's online program, what is your philosophy for online learning?
Yeah, and I think our philosophy is similar to how we approach our curriculum when students are on campus. And
Right.
that is that everything we do is purposeful. Everything is rooted in our identity, our mission. That, the work that we do has to be meaningful, but it also has to be grounded in what our community needs. So recognizing not just the developmental needs of students, but also the uniqueness of the dynamics of different homes. Some children will have a sibling at home with them, learning alongside them. Some children will have parents who are both working. Some children will be in another country and, again, working in a different time zone. So really being very clued into what we're observing, what parents are feeding back, how we're responding and evolving. That's been really critical, allowing us to be adaptive and change with the needs of our families. One of the things that we know, and we talked a little bit about this before we started, about the importance of being flexible, the importance of being patient. And, there is no room for complacency
Right.
in this time of learning online.
Yes, of course, of course. So how is the foundation designed to meet the unique ranges of learning, unique range of needs and learning styles?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, first of all, our teachers know their students.
Right.
They've been working with these students for an entire, for the first semester. They know them well. Our teachers naturally differentiate, and that doesn't change when students go online. We still need to differentiate. We need to make sure that materials are designed for different learning styles, whether that's visual, audio, kinesthetic. It's very important that we continue to individualize those materials, that we're scaffolding lessons for students, ensuring that they have clarity, and then making sure that students have access to us for either additional meets, extra meets, or individual meets.
Right. Okay, of course. So today we are splitting up today's session into 4 areas. We've just covered how Hong Kong's HKA's online program is set up. And now we'll look on to how HKA alters the curriculum to meet their student needs. And then looking at challenges and opportunities of online learning. And then lastly, staying sane. So, okay, great. Let's just move on to Hong Kong Academy's, how you alter the curriculum to meet your student needs. What is the criteria for success for each child? I mean, how do you ensure that everybody feels successful and self-motivated?
Yeah, and I'm glad that you used that word, talking about success. That is critical, in that children need to feel successful, children need to be successful, and parents also need to feel successful in their role in supporting their child. And I think that one of the things that's been very important to us is that we maintain that conceptual framework that we have within the primary years program within the International Baccalaureate. So I think it's important to recognize that we continue to run our curriculum as it is, and that we continue with our standards and benchmarks. So in each of our subject areas, there are standards and benchmarks, and we do request that the students engage with what's happening online. And that's a really important piece, is the engagement, that the children are engaged and participating. So one of the things that we make sure, and I talked a little bit about this in the earlier question, was that children and parents have access to us. So on any given day, children have live meets where they are meeting with the teachers, and they're meeting for a host of reasons. Sometimes they're meeting for help. Sometimes they're meeting to be social, which is critical. That's another big important part, is recognizing that kids are social, but learning is also social. The other is that there's opportunities for children to share their work, for teachers to feed back on their work, as well as opportunities for instruction when needed online, rather just than the video, that there's interactive instruction. But again, having that access, so students have access and parents have access. We have an immediate response email. So if it's a time when we're not online with kids and you have a question, you don't need to sit there being frustrated. You know that someone is manning an email and ready to respond to you.
Right.
In addition to that, we make sure that we are providing that parental support for our parents, really recognizing that they have been put in a very different role than they typically are with their children. And again, going back to meeting those individual needs of students.
Okay. So in terms of engagement, do you have a lot of like virtual events, or are you doing things like, people can access libraries, and how's that engagement going?
Sure, absolutely. And I think that what's important is we need resources, but so do kids. So, from the very beginning, any child who would like a device could pick up a device, kindergarten through grade 5 in the primary school. Our secondary school children already have a one-to-one laptop.
Right.
But anyone could come and collect a device. We have kept our libraries open. So we are checking out a tremendous amount of books daily, which has been so fabulous to see. In addition to that, children also had access to come in and get their musical instruments. So we want to make sure that children have the tools they need. They've also picked up, whether it be writing journals and things like that, things that they've needed from the classroom. Younger children have come and collected manipulatives. So we're making sure that children have the tools that they need at home. Another piece that's so important is that we recognize that working from home, a one-to-one, and in a small group is very different than working in school. And the pace at which children work is going to be a lot faster because they're not working in a group of over 20 children. And so recognizing that, and that we do not want to fatigue our students. So mixing it up. So for example, on Tuesday, we have Specialist Day. And Specialist Day is when the children are exposed to their visual arts, their music, their physical education, their information community technology, their library time. And often that's such a highlight for children in the week. And it's very important that those still are very much in place, and to ensure that families weren't concerned with focusing so much on the homeroom work that we dedicated an entire day where children just focus on their specialist work. So again, allowing them to re-energize themselves.
Right. Okay, something to look forward to.
And on Wednesdays, we typically wear a half day on Wednesday because we offer opportunities for our students to do longer after school activities they couldn't typically do, as well as the professional development that we do for our faculty on Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, we've introduced something called HK Prime, which is personal relevant inquiry through meaningful engagement. And that's project work. So that's project-based work that children are doing. And there's a host of things that they're doing. And what it is, it's really an opportunity for them to take all this rich learning that they are getting from their online learning and apply it and generalize it in, again, relevant, meaningful engagements.
Okay, excellent. Sounds really, really good, and promising as well. But obviously, there's always going to be challenges and other opportunities as well. So what would you say are the main challenges of this online learning?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is social isolation, because what we know, children are social, learning is social, and they're missing their teachers, they're missing their friends, they're missing that interaction. I think in addition to that is the use of screens. And so kids are spending a lot of time on screens. Now they're using screens differently. They're not using screens perhaps for some of the things that they would have used them for, whether it be for playing games or gaming or videos, but they are definitely on screens. So the use of screens. And then ensuring balance. And so, one of the things that happens in a classroom is that children will typically really not work for more than 10 to 15 minutes or sit in a group for more than 20 minutes. And so really ensuring that children are getting that movement, having those opportunities to educate that whole child, that about the specialist. We talk about that project work, opportunities to apply your work. We've also had some virtual events to support that. We have a hot cocoa house, which is kind of a mini talent show that our students do. So we've had Pre-K's Got Talent. We've had a continuous reading chair where we did read alouds all day. We've had school-wide events where we had our secondary athletics director do a virtual sports day with our students. So again, staying connected, opportunities to be interacted, and also opportunities to be uplifted. We had our community choir do a beautiful video on Lean on Me, and that was really beautiful for them to see.
So, I mean, do you have much advice for parents or recommendations about how, we can tackle those challenges? Do you have any tips at all for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that it's important to find ways for kids to be social, and sometimes that is going to be online, and it can be through a Google Meet, it could be through Zoom or a Skype or a FaceTime. Opportunities to just connect. And it's not always a peer from school. but it's connected. Maybe it's a relative that's in another country. Maybe it's a neighbor that lives down the road. I know right now we're very much aware of social distancing, but some villages and communities are, um, you know, self-quarantining. So if your community has quarantine, giving children opportunities to be social. You can also be social within your own family, in terms of the relationship with siblings, relationship with parents, as well, in terms of having those interactions and really taking that time to sit down and have rich conversations, not just about school,
Mm.
but about what's going on in their hearts right now.
Right.
And
Yeah, it's a really tough time. Okay, so what would you say are the opportunities? Because obviously there's the bad things, but what are the opportunities with this online learning?
yeah, I mean, one of the things we just had our parent teacher conferences with our parents, and one of the questions that we asked parents, what are new skills that you're seeing in your child? And
Right.
this opportunity for self-discovery, this
Mm.
opportunity for reflection, and for
Mm.
kids to be communicators and to be really advocate for themselves and be able to talk to their teachers, as well as the resilience that we're seeing in kids. I think the other is that the programs are really quite individualized, more so than they actually can be during a typical school day,
Mm.
because when the teacher is responding to a class of over 20 students,
Yeah.
now they're really working very individually with students because that's how they're learning at the moment. And the other is that there are so many ways that we learn, and take those opportunities. And that this is, for many families, they say this has been a gift
Mm.
of time with our children that we would never have gotten, if this didn't happen. An opportunity to go on a family hike, an opportunity to cook together,
Yeah.
opportunity to play board games. Again, learning comes in many different ways, and to really embrace that and see those
Okay.
opportunities. And then I think, what it's doing for family relationships. Siblings are
Mm.
becoming so close when they're often so distracted by
Yeah.
all the other opportunities that are around them.
Mm.
We're seeing that the closeness of siblings and the connectedness of parents with their children
Mm.
has been really lovely to see those family relationships developing in a way that probably would not have happened if we were still on campus.
Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree. Really, really good points there.
Mhm.
We're now going to head into our last section, which is to do with staying sane and how you suggest we should stay sane at home. So how is Hong Kong Academies supporting their parents during this challenging time?
Sure. I think that, one of the things that we feel very important is communication.
Right.
So ensuring that there's a feedback loop. So again, as I mentioned, they've got the immediate response, they can have live help. We also do a weekly survey where we're getting feedback from parents. In addition to that, teachers do a weekly check-in with
Okay.
family. So keeping those lines of communication open.
Right.
I think the other is, that our counselors are proactive. We have 3 counselors in the school, 1
Right.
counselor, they're all social emotional. One of them supports the post-secondary for our older students, but ensuring that we are proactive. So we're not waiting for a family to be in crisis. We are reaching out to a
Right.
family. We also make sure that we have, a support group. So every Tuesday and Thursday, the counselor and I go online for any family that wants to drop in and just get support from us, get support from their other community family members. And, so someone says, well, I'm really having a hard time with this. Someone else comes in with, hey, I tried this. Why don't you try this? And again, they're supporting each other as a community,
Right.
and we have the resources there, but we're also making sure that we're accessible to our families.
Okay. That's great. Really good to hear. It's like all about teamwork, really, isn't it?
It's all about teamwork, and it's also all about, I really feel very important about being proactive. I think about our counselor. She also has weekly meets with every grade level. So the kids again can drop in, we call it chatterbox. And they can drop in to chatterbox and just chat with the counselor, and she plays games with them and just kind of gives kids an opportunity to talk about how they're feeling, what's on their mind.
Right. I think I need to join HKA myself. Come and speak to one of your counsellors. Sounds excellent. So you have counsellors available. We've touched upon them, and you said they meet with the children on a daily.
So our counselor always has like a social emotional message that goes out as part of their weekly learning.
Right.
And
Okay.
then the counselor is also available for a live meet with the children for what we call our chatterbox. So
Okay.
kids can drop in, for a live meet. We also have students that we've targeted. who we feel are just needing a little extra boost right now and need extra support. So then we're working individually with them, and then we offer the twice weekly sessions with our parents, so they can drop in every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, I'll be there. So I imagine parents are very concerned about how their children are performing during such a long break from school. So do you have any words of comfort at all?
Yeah, well, first of all, parents are doing a great job. And I think they need to know that. I think parents are hardest on themselves. They are doing a great job. The other is that we are so connected with our kids and our families. If we had any concerns, we're stepping in. We're coming in, we're supporting. We're doing an individual Google Meet to make sure that children are where they need to be. So again, that communication piece is really important. I think that parents are putting a lot of pressure on themselves, and they're having, is this enough? Is this the right expectation? Again, that's where the communication is so important, that weekly feedback that they're able to give us and we're able to give them. I think another piece that parents should do is every day they should celebrate something.
Mm-hmm.
They should also think of something, talk to their children, talk about what they're going to celebrate, talk about something that they have accomplished, something that they're grateful for, but then also talk about something that surprised them and something that's a challenge. Because remember, we talked a little bit about self-discovery and the opportunity for that. So really having an opportunity to have that communication with your child and finding out how they're doing. How are you doing? And I think that's what we want. We want kids to feel successful, and we also want them to keep feeling good about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really tough time. But I mean, your points today have been really, really insightful. And I just want to say thank you. We've come to an end for our interview. If there's anything else you'd like to add at all, or any other points, Virginia, that we haven't covered today?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we've covered quite a bit. And I think that what's important is for everyone to know that there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows.
Yeah.
And that's okay, and that's to be expected, and that you're not alone. Reach out to either the families in your community or, those around you, because you're not alone. Many people are experiencing the same thing, and they can be a resource to you as well as your school. So it's really important, again, to go back to those lines of communication. Everyone is in this to make it work.
Of course, yes. Thank you so much. That's been really, really great today. Just to finish off, I just want to say we haven't had any questions come through just yet, so we will forward those on to Virginia once they do come through. Be sure to go to our website. We are a brilliant resource for families in Asia. If you would like to follow us on Facebook, there is a follow button on our Facebook page. Please do so. Today we have got a fabulous school newsletter that goes out today to Hong Kong. Hong Kong Academy are in that newsletter. Next week for Singapore too. So please do subscribe to our newsletters. And I think we're done, although somebody's typing. Oh, right, I've got a question.
Okay, great.
Do you have any virtual open houses at all?
Yes, so we are doing a host of different things for our admissions. We actually did an admissions Facebook Live, and we are doing virtual tours.
Yes.
And we're talking, directly with prospective families, and we're so excited because we're still admitting kids during this online time, which has been really exciting. We have a new student starting on Monday when we get back. We're very excited to welcome our new family. So, and before this all started, when we came back from Lunar New Year break, we welcomed 2 new students. So, and I think that's, a true testament to the integrity of our program.
Definitely. Well, congratulations. It sounds like an excellent program, and well done to you guys as well. So over and out. Thank you so much today, Virginia, and speak to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.